I never thought I'd be standing here in front of all you journalists. I mean, PR people are usually not included. But that's the genius of this school, to understand that, in fact, they are not separate, that, in fact, they rely on each other. And I also tonight want to talk about my dad, who started as a journalist. He went to Columbia J School. He went then to Poughkeepsie to the local newspaper, was drafted into the American Army, and they said, go to engineering school. My father was terrible in math. So he said, no, you don't understand. I'm a journalist. So they put him into propaganda, and he spent 3 years staying up all night listening to Nazi broadcasts and then recommending what the Allies should say the next morning in leaflets and on radio. And they had a whole program called Black Radio, which was to provide enough news so that the Germans believed it, but enough news to make the German soldiers give up. Anyway, so he came back and worked in CBS, in the Grand Central Station, in the glassed-up area in radio. And he said his real job was to get the anchorman, whose name was Arthur Godfrey, very famous guy, get the girl out of the bed, get Arthur sobered up, and put him in front of the radio with the copy. And anyway, he had funny stories. And so my dad actually always was a journalist at heart. He became a PR guy because of his service in the military. And, you know, because he said, please, I'm sick of working nights. What else do you have for me? And they said, oh, you were in Allied propaganda. We'll put you in PR. And so he was sent around with records. And he would take records to stations with $1 and give it to the DJ, and they would play it miraculously. But he got to work with Mel Torme and Ella Fitzgerald and these kinds of people, which is famous for that time period. And then he set up his company on the basis of having been discovered by the owner of the Tony Home Permanence Company, which none of you would ever have heard of, but it made permanent hair waves. And anyway, so he went to this company in 1948, and he had a great idea, which was the media tour, and to send people around who were credible spokespeople to go onto TV and radio. And so, you know, and he did that for 4 years, and then he walked into the guy and said, this is a true story. So he was pitched by Reuter Finn. Mr. Reuter came and pitched him and said, you know, we should be your agency. But he made a mistake, Mr. Reuter, because my dad was dating my mom then, and Mr. Reuter was flirting with my mother. And my father was a very jealous guy, so he said, I'm going to compete with you and kill you. Anyway, and now we're at least 15 times larger than Reuter Finn, so I carry on the torch of killing Reuter Finn. But the major point of the story is the inextricability of journalism and PR. That my dad started as a journalist. He always read 5 newspapers. Oh my God, send me clips. Just that's what he did. But he always believed in truth. And this is very important for all of you in strategic communications. Never do spin. Always tell the truth. Tell both sides. Make sure that whatever you say is corroborated. Do not put out fake news. Do not allow your clients to do the wrong thing. It's the most important message for me from tonight. Stand up and tell the truth. Okay, thank you.